Alphari.
Thank you very much, guys. Indeed, Power People and Alphari after their first series win here in the LCS over Giants. And I'd like to start off by asking you...
Hold up. Before we go any further, there's one thing I want to ask about in that final game. There's a lot of things I want to talk to your team about. But first, I want to pull up a replay here. Because while that final game did end very well for you guys, it did not start so good. So if we could take a chance to look at that first tower dive.
It's going to come off in just a second.
It's going to come up. There it is. So what were you guys thinking here, and what exactly went wrong?
Well, so Alphari said that he has the first roam, so he was starting to roam to mid lane. Kakao, we were talking about tower diving him maybe, and I pushed in mid lane, but then I think we just kind of miscommunicated to each other a little bit. Alphari wanted to dive, Kakao didn't want to dive, and for me it was like I just followed up, I guess, a little bit, and then it was like not on the same page, I guess.
Yeah, I think it was maybe a little bit over enthusiastic by me, but. I saw
it was a fault from I think everyone because we were not on the same page at all, so we just all suicided kind of.
I'd like to apologize on behalf of my colleague for the first time you guys joined on the desk immediately smashed you guys, but I like that you said, oh, I was maybe a bit over enthusiastic. I had the impression that you felt more comfortable as the series was going. I know maybe that Ilaoi matchup in the first one and the way she scaled was a bit of a curveball, but you seem to get more confident as the games advance. Is that correct?
Well, first game was we didn't really know what to expect from their top laner particularly. Like the Ilaoi pick was definitely not expected. So after that, I don't think there's too much to be worried about. So like he didn't really pull out anything else that was making me not confident. So yeah, I guess I got more confident.
Yeah, it seemed in general. What was the communication like in the team and what was said? Because it seemed like there was a very big difference between game 1 where you guys had the lead early but you couldn't transition it to a win, and then game 2 and 3 where you guys just pulled the trigger so handily.
I think it's just because we were the first time as a team on stage, like with the addition of me and Kakao. So I felt like we were playing too scared in the first game. We had the lead. I think we could have closed out the game, but we just were too scared. We had a lot of times the Baron vision, but we didn't transform it or use it correctly. So we nearly just started Baron, then we're like, oh guys, how do we engage now? And I think it was just like a little bit, how to say, first game, first time LCS in a long time. So I think we picked it up really good in the second and third game.
It did look like it improved over the course of the series. Now, I'm curious, you guys are both solo laners. How has the new 10-ban system affected your champion pools individually? Do you feel like there's more pressure for you guys to pick up new champions now, or is it still kind of the same as it used to be in Season 6?
I feel like for blind picks, there's maybe less options because enemies can just ban other champions or just have lots of options for counter picks now, particularly. But I feel for counter picks, there's actually loads of options now, which you saw in this series, they were always saving last pick for top lane, for counter picking, particularly one solo lane. But I don't know how that is for mid lane, but yeah, for top lane, I don't think there's too many blind picks that you can go because of the bans, but I think there's also counter picks now.
I think the only thing that really changed is that on red side, you can pick in the last rotation, in the first rotation, mid lane as last one, and then just target ban mid lane, and you get sometimes a really, really good matchup since you ban all the counter picks of mid lane, and I think that's probably one of the possibilities you can do in the 10-ban system.
So we didn't see that as much. You picked Syndra in all of your games, and you guys priority picked it. Do you feel like she's still top tier enough after the changes to the balls that you should pick her every time as a first pick, or is that more comfort for you?
That was actually funny since in the second game we wanted to pick Syndra early, but there was some communication issues in cherry section and Kakao.
Yeah, we actually picked one champion.
Kakao was randomly picking Kha'Zix because
by
accident, since I think he doesn't find the champions fast enough since only 30 seconds. So, but then we realized that Knight doesn't prioritize Syndra at all. He didn't pick it up, and they banned it in the end as well. So we just decided that third game we don't need to pick it that early, and I think it worked out for us really good.
That's good. He threw you a curveball, and you guys adapted as a team. Really nice to know. We also see you guys
mind games
prioritizing the Thresh there for Ignar. Maybe also a bit of comfort level for him in game 1, and he is our player of the series. Do you guys agree with that? I mean, you're not going to say that he played bad, of course, but how did you feel he fit in for his first pro game here on the ULCS stage?
Yeah, Ignar played well. Yeah, he's deserves it, I guess. I can't say without having looked at all the bot lane trades, but I think they won bot, so.
I think especially the second game when he played Malzahar, he played really, really good. He was always calling for the targets, for the engages. I think he played really, really good engage supports. On the first game, it was a little bit, how to say, hard for him since he played against Nautilus, but I think he played really good the whole series.
Yeah, and he's our player of the series. As we go, maybe a quick question about your group in general. A lot of people are saying, well, G2 is very strong, Fnatic is very strong. Where does Misfits land for you guys?
I think Gamers 2 are like pretty clearly the favorites at the moment. And I think after that, I think us and Fnatic are both probably, you know, like just below Gamers 2 perhaps. And then I suppose Rocket and Giants will both be, you know, maybe struggling, but I think they can both take games as well.
All right, you guys have your eye on the number 2 in that group already. Well, thank you guys.
Or
number 1, of course.
Eye on number 1. They just currently rank themselves
currently
number
ranking
2.
second. Well, thank you guys very much for joining us as well. On PoE, you're going to stick around to cover the next series for us, which is Vitality taking on the Unicorns of Love. We'll be back right after the break with that second best of 3.
First blood, picked up with the Thunderlord. EQ's running out of mana. 5 members of Misfits chasing down Flaxfish. He's stunned by Scatter the Weak, and he's killed by Power of Evil. Hustling's already down. Hudsummer's found EQ. Baron's not going to get enlisted. I thought he was about to attack. Knights of Memento running for their lives. It's great to see the coaching staff backstage making their way up. Memento's got a lot of damage. Jumps into the pit. Does it again! That's a Baron steal for Memento! Misfits turn their attention to the Nexus. They're ignoring the champions, and Misfits defeat Giants!